The car was behaving almost perfectly, apart from an intermittent engine warning light that we had learned to ignore as we headed off to Agra via Lucknow for 2 days of driving. The road was fantastic with lovely country lanes, small villages and no hold-ups. We set off very early in the morning from Lucknow because we wanted to reach Agra before American President Donald Trump arrived for a state visit with his wife Melania. They would be closing the roads and we hoped to get to our hotel before a citywide lockdown. But the best laid plans, as they say.
What's up?
Suddenly started to misbehave. We're running sweet as a nut.
And it's just started to misfire.
Didn't seem to misfire, it just seemed to lose power. We can try starting it again now, see if it starts. Well, it was going brilliantly. Wonderful express rate, quite unlike anything that we'd experienced anywhere in India, including driving for at least 2.5 miles on an emergency runway, which is part of the motorway, creaming along 100k, 110k, and then with about 50k to go, Queen Bee died. And so that was our second failure. And but we got lucky because we'd been talking to a guy at the service station where we'd stopped briefly some Ks before, who was in a German bus, trained mechanic. Peter flagged them down, he spotted it, was just brilliant. And this guy pulled in and everybody took the car apart, traced the problem back to the fuel. We went all the way through the electrics, replaced the voltage regulator, found some other issues, checked the plugs, found it was running very lean, eventually traced the problem back to the fuel pump. And the diagnosis was the fuel pump was broken, so I was back into tow mode. Tow mode into Agra with the roads in lockdown because of Trump arriving. So we got to within about 3 or 4k of our hotel and we went round and round in small circles with me getting hotter and hotter on the end of a 6-foot rope. I nearly took out the back of the tow car at one point. Eventually did manage to get into the hotel with a lot of local influencing and took the car apart, established it was the fuel pump. And then this morning, we again had another look at the fuel pump, blew it through, got it to work briefly, but actually it was a dead piece of kit. But we identified the replacement part, and guess what? The team have gone off and found the part, fitted it, and that's allowed us to go and visit the Taj, which hopefully you can see behind me. And that's been a wonderful morning's experience. We're about to go and try it and do a drive-by of the Red Fort. It's going to be wildly exciting. just started up this morning on getting ready to go to Delhi. Started perfectly, backed it out, suddenly went lumpy, and somebody said, well, there's a fuel leak. So there was fuel leaking out the front. You can still see residue on the floor, and so we whipped the cover off, the black cover front, and found a split pipe which had been off yesterday, and that was where the obvious source of the leak was.
Well, after the early morning problems, we set off anyway, but it wasn't long before it all went pear-shaped again. Our optimism was ill-judged.
If you use the spacer, it's going to be too hot to get it out. Alright?
Get out. The wire is missing.
Okay, so it looks as though all the repairs that we did yesterday with the pump jerry-rigged into the pump fuel tank at the back, which then subsequently burst some tyres and so on. Some pipes. Burst some pipes. And we've been chasing burst pipes around the system as a result because it's been putting too much pressure into the system. So we got on the motorway. I started to smell fuel. Thought that's not good, so we pulled in, and we've gotten through. We found a pipe bulging at the front, and David's now spoken to Morgan. And the verdict is it's probably driving too much pressure into the system. So we're now looking to see whether we can get a flatbed or we're going to tow. It's 100 miles of tow, which is hard work. But if we have to do that, we'll have to do it.
But the truck couldn't reach us, so we had to tow the car for 100 miles on a very short rope to meet the rescue vehicle on the outskirts of the city.
Nilesh, push up. We put in the big cover over it as well. Well, causing a traffic jam.
Almost to Delhi to a stand.